Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Robin Graves, and this is the World According to Graves. Yeah, I know I didn't do one last week. Believe me, between the American Reptile Association being cast in a horror movie, Look for Revenge, early next year, and working production for Quack House Productions, also next year, look for Dr. Quack. I barely have time to do much. But anyway, let's get this out with Mike. Looper. A lot of people hated this movie. I liked it. I liked the nice, weird twists in it, the weird effects. The story, let me get this straight here. I'm coming in here pretty much unprepared. Um, get my microphone here set up right there. Can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2. Anyway, and David De Silva, Mr. De Silva, made a comment to me on the phone that he keeps track of what I'm drinking. No Pepsi today. Diet Mountain Dew. Yes, Pepsi owes me money. So anyway, let's get this wonderful sound going. See, how's this sound? I love that sound. Little sippage here. First off, I don't know how long I'm going to be on today. I'm going to wing this as best as I can. Um, I have a lot happening, a lot going on. I have to make about 20 different phone calls. A good friend of mine may or may not have cancer. I've got to check up on them today. They had a procedure done today to find out everything, and I need to call them. But I have some emails. I have some emails here on my smartphone. Yes, even I have one of these. I want to read off. I was told, actually advised, that I need to read some of these emails. So here we go. Got this going. Get this, make sure. And here we go. This is a good one. From Vegas Boy, spelt Vegas, Boi. Um, that tells me enough about him. The way he's his spelling, that tells me enough. He's a piece of shit millennial. So, anyway, from Vegas Boy, 621. Yeah, nice number. Probably your birthday, June 21st. Here he goes. Good Lord. There we go. We all know the police are nothing but a bunch of tyrants, same as Donald Trump being a tyrant. The world would be better off without him. AOC even said, less cops, less crime. Thank you for your time, and I hope you die. This is actually comes from this prick. So, let me answer Vegas Boy real quick. Police are tyrants. Police are tyrants. How many times do you guys trash the police? Said we don't need them. Did they come looking for you? No. Even while you were rioting, they didn't do anything to you. They couldn't because their tyrannical employees, i.e., the governors, the DAs, or the mayors, or all three of them, were total liberal assholes who decided that, oh, this is just the summer of love. Let them go. You can't arrest them. Just let them go. It's non-violent while they're burning down a whole fucking city. So this whole thing about Trump uh, being a tyrant, oh my. You know, I've had to address this on social media in the past, and people end up blocking me because I told them the truth. Nobody likes me telling them the truth. They'd rather hear how they're a victim and how they're right and everything. Trump being a tyrant. Let's explain something. Well, let's look at something. Yeah, pink one there. Oh, by the way, yeah, ACDC. For those out there who are wondering. Excuse me. Trump being a tyrant. Well, let's take a look. Tyrants are usually vengeful, brutal people. So far, the media has ran their mouths off about Trump. There have been lies about Trump. There have been plenty of lies. The whole impeachment thing, him being racist, how he's keeping everybody locked up in cages. They're coming here illegally. That picture you people keep bragging about and posting was taken in 2014. That was Obama's regime. So why are you blaming Trump for that? You know, you people out there talking about kill Trump, do this to Trump, impeach Trump, end Trump, how he's a tyrant, he's a Nazi, he's a racist, he's all of this. Do you know if he was actually a tyrant, you people will probably disappear in the middle of the night. You people know nothing about tyrants. I wish a lot of you people out there lived during the 80s and you saw what was happening in other countries. You know, you're wanting to sit here and talk about how we need to be socialist. Why? Because you don't want to work? You don't want to go out and make a living? You want it handed to you? The Green New Deal, Mike Ossoff, that idiot here in Georgia, was all for that. He's actually running around talking about how his job is to fight corruption. I haven't seen him fight any corruption. He sure as hell hasn't been going after Biden after his corruption with Burisma and his son and getting a DA in Russia fired. So the government, in exchange for the government receiving, a pledge of money. It's Trump's not a tyrant. Trump's just the guy who got elected, who's doing his job. No, you don't like him because your TV told you so. A lot of you people out there are, they're anti-Trump or pretty much along the lines of, I don't like him because my TV told me not to. That's the only reason you don't like him. You said they're talking about how you're a Hillary fan. You want a Hillary because you're a big fan of hers. Just because you're a fan of somebody doesn't mean they'll be a good president. I'm a big fan of Blackie Lawless from Wasp. Do I want to be president? No. You guys keep talking about how he's how Trump's a racist. Funny, he wasn't racist until he got started running for president. Right now, he's here in Atlanta, talking in front of an audience primarily of black people, and they're cheering him. You're talking about, you people have told me that, well, polls say this, polls say that. Polls also said Hillary was going to win by a landslide. So I don't believe polls. I don't believe the polls out there, especially when they go and they go talk to a Democrat, progressive enclave, and get their take on things. They don't talk to me. I don't know anybody who's ever been talked to by a pollster. I know a lot of people. On to the next one. You defend this. This is come from a girl named Trixie something or other. She's actually says this is stupid. I'm going to call it as it is. It's stupid. We need to get rid of the Electoral College. Hillary would have won the popular vote, but she didn't win. She didn't win because the Electoral College wouldn't let her win. Okay, let me explain something to you people. See, when I was in school back in the 80s, we had a class called civics, where we learned how and why things are set up and why they work. Let me explain something. You people are talking about getting rid of the Electoral College. Why? Why? It worked for over 200 years until this last election. You guys didn't want it after it worked right. You didn't want it. Now the popular vote. Let me explain what the popular vote was in 2016. 2 states, New York and California. Both states are notoriously liberal. Okay, that's why there's an electoral college. It's based on the population of each state, each thing, each point or whatever is based on the population of each state. New York and California still have a shitload of electoral college votes, and they still lost because everybody between New York and California voted for Trump. All right, they generally go by who wins in their state, although they can change. But the thing is, none of them voted against their state. They never voted against what their state wanted, what the voting in their state wanted. Now, you want to say, well, we should go by the popular vote. Fine. Let's talk about that. Go by a popular vote. California and New York will run the rest of the country. What they say will go due to a popular vote in those two states. Do you know why? In those 2 states, they have more population than the rest of the country. You could add everybody else in this country together. You will not have as many people as those 2 states. The 2 of the largest cities in the country are in those states. They have the largest population. Hence, they have more electoral college votes. Okay? You're out there running and saying, well, I'm not going to vote because my vote don't count. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. But we, 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 this country's elections are winner take all. Okay, whoever wins the most electoral votes due to the most votes in those states for that person wins. That's how it works. You know, you people you know nothing about civics. You know nothing about how it works, how anything works. You people don't even know your civil rights. You want to sit there and say, "Well, I've got a right to this. I got a right to that." What right? What right? Show me where where this right is a law. The rights, our civil rights, are what run this country. The laws of this country, along with our Constitution. You would say, "Well, we don't need a Constitution. It's an old document." It's the rule of law has ran this country pretty damn well for the past over 200 years until all of a sudden Hillary didn't win and you people are throwing fits in the streets, screaming, crying, pissing, and moaning because you didn't get your way. Mainly millennials. So, honestly, what you're bitching about is bullshit. It doesn't exist. It's not something that is bitchable. Because just because you don't know the law, you don't know our rights in this country, you don't know how this country is ran, you think you should get your way. I'm going to tell you a little secret here, kids. A lot of you out there don't even know what side of your room smells the worst and you want to have a say in how this country's ran. Get a clue. Live a little bit. Quit playing video games. Go out, get a real job. Make a living. Then come back and talk to me. Until then, shut the fuck up because you don't know what you're talking about. So, anyway, here's one more that I think was pretty good. We're going to do one more, and I want to cut it off. It's going to be a little short today. I've got a lot I got to do. Andreev... No, we're not going to talk to this guy. Talk about Russian interference. Or maybe we will talk about it. I don't speak Russian and everything, but this guy is sitting here talking about how the only reason Hillary won is due to Russian interference, and we have foreign interference in all the elections where Republicans win. Bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit, and I will show it to you. I will prove it to you right now. The so-called Russian interference, they don't care who wins. They don't care. They just want to disrupt this, which they worked for Hillary Clinton. The so-called dossier was provided by a spy, Peter Steele, who was pretty much bought and paid for by Russia, by the country of Russia. That went to Hillary Clinton. That was proven to be a lie during an investigation, which the Democrats didn't give a shit. They wanted to throw it into an impeachment proceeding anyway, even though it was false information. Hillary Clinton paid for this. She paid Peter Steele for this mess. And she was later found out to be a liar. That is public knowledge. Everybody's talking about foreign interference. Well, let's talk about foreign interference. Who's the ones, the illegal aliens? Oh, excuse me, I'm not supposed to say that. That's racist. The undocumented citizens who vote Democrat all the time. Okay? That's foreign interference. The Democrats are wanting them to be able to vote legally. That's foreign interference. They're wanting to turn Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands into states. So because they're looking for a bigger Democrat voting base. They're going to become part of the United States. The Democrats are going to take credit. They're going to vote Democrat. The thing is you want to talk about foreign nationals voting. They're saying, well, they should be allowed to vote. They live here. Why don't you go to Mexico and try to vote? Why don't you go there and try to vote? You can't. You're not allowed to. You know, you talk about how our standards here to come to America are so stringent. No, they're not. They aren't. Look them up. Look them up compared to going to Canada or Mexico. Find out what American standards are for becoming a citizen here. Yeah, it takes a little while because there's so many people filing. My neighbor right now is Canadian, and she's trying to become a citizen here. It's going to take her, I believe, 2 years, and a lawyer, which, after researching all of this myself, there are so many people filing for citizenship here in this country. You know, they're doing it legally. It's pathetic. It's a lot of them. So we have a lot of people come here and decide that they're going to vote anyway because I feel I should vote. I live here too. You're not a citizen. The law says you have to be a citizen. Now you out there that say, well, the law is bullshit. You know what? Then go out and change it. Do something to change that law. See, our checks and balances here in this country, the way it's ran and everything, you have a chance to get a law changed. You just got to go and do it. You got to know how to do it, which none of you want to take the time out. You think you deserve to have whatever law there is that you want because you want it. You know, I want to tell you a little secret here. There's a lack of critical thinking in this country. It's everybody that said they want to be emotional about everything and think with their emotions instead of using a little bit of logic. I don't see any logic going on. You look at the frigging peaceful protests where cities are burning, people are being assaulted, police cars are being burned, cops are being assaulted. Yeah, that shows me there's no logic. You know, somebody out there telling me, well, this country's born on it was created by protesting. We weren't a country at the time. We were fighting for independence from another country. It's a totally different matter, totally different thing. Get that into your naughty little heads. Okay, don't sit there and act like you know what you're talking about because you're showing you know jack and shit left town. Okay, so don't even start with that. You know, guys, I got one more here. I'm thinking about reading to you guys and answering. Oh my God, this one is where did it go? There it is. Oh man. Oh, Jesus. You know, here it is. We all know the Republican Party and everybody on the right are racist against everybody else. Why don't you just admit it? You are a racist. This is done by somebody who calls himself Jersey Devil. Okay? I wish you people would use your real names. Because, I mean, going and using these little names like that and Vegas Boy and all of this, you're trying to hide. Okay, I'm using my real name. I'm telling you right now where I live at. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, I'm on YouTube. I got my own channel. I'm public. You people aren't. You're trying to hide your real identity. But anyway, Republicans are racist. Democrats are the ones who created the KKK. The neo-Nazi party, they're not Republican. They're socialist. You want to talk about racist? How about BLM and people with BLM? And we're going to get into something here in just a second to counter your fucking arguments too, so I know what you're going to think. BLM wants segregation. They want they don't give a shit about black people. You get all these people out here, all these blacks here having a hard time. What does BLM do for them? Nothing. They've been arrested for rioting over bullshit. Now BLM is saying, well, we're only in it for people who are harassed by the police. So far, the people that you're using that were harassed or killed by, or beaten or shot or whatever by the police were people in commission of crimes against the police, threatening the police lives. Hold on, I got hiccups. I get emotional, I get hiccups. Hey, Dave, Mountain Douche. So far, Michael Brown, people used him. Hell, he assaulted a police officer, tried to take his gun from him, and was shot for it. Don't tell me if somebody assaults you and tries to take your firearm from you, that you wouldn't try to fight back. Don't tell me that. You're a liar. I'm standing on that. I am calling you out. George Ferguson didn't die from the police. The police didn't kill him. 2 coroners, 2 autopsies proved he died due to the drugs. Hysterical, I forgot the term they use. What it is you quit breathing because your heart stops beating. It had nothing to do with the police. There was no signs, no injuries in his neck or anything about strangulation or about putting a knee on his neck. There was none. Look it up. Show me I'm wrong. I dare you. Prove me wrong. The thing is every one of these people are being turned into martyrs and saints by BLM. Now, people are telling me, well, the BLM, they're not the ones burning down buildings. It's people saying they're with BLM. Why isn't BLM condemning them? Why? Why is BLM not saying we're not a part of that? They're not going to say that because they think it sends a message. The only message that's being sent is that black people are criminals. And BLM is pushing that narrative by allowing all of this to happen by people saying that they're with BLM. BLM doesn't even take the money you people, a lot of these people have given to BLM, doesn't even go to BLM. It goes to something called 1,000 Waves, which supports and gives money to a lot of Marxist organizations in this country. And guess who owns 1,000 Waves? Yeah, I bet a lot of you could guess who does. I don't have to say his Nazi name. You people sit there talking about how everybody's a Nazi, we're all racist over here. One of the biggest racists there is a Nazi, George Soros. He funds all of this stuff. He helps with all of this. His companies are shells for money for all of this, the rioting going on. Now people are saying, well, there's white people in that too, you know. Yes, I know. I know very well. And they're sitting there talking about how bad white people are. Want to talk racist? BLM and their little white people they got running around talking shit about white people. Yeah, you want to talk racist? How about this? The whole thing where every time there's an illegal can't speak English in school, the Democrats throw a fit to lower the bar. It's like, oh, Pablo knows his shit, but can't speak English, so you gotta give it to him in Spanish. You know what? You're in this country. English is the predominant language in this country. It's the accepted language in this country. It's spoken by a multitude of people. A vast amount of people in this country speak English. It is the primary language of this country, whether or not the Democrats want it to be. Come to this country, learn English. If I go to another country, I got to learn that language. When I was in Japan, I had to learn Japanese for the 6 weeks I was in there, in Japan. The 6 months I was wrestling in Mexico, I had to speak. I had to learn a little Spanish just to get by. Nobody expected me to speak Spanish to them. To speak English to them. They wanted me to speak Spanish. So don't start telling me how we're all racist and everything over here, when all the evidence shows that you are. The Democrats will do anything they can to keep the black people on the plantation. Sit there and play the victim card for black people. All black people are a victim. All black people are victim. Really? Let's go talk to all the sports stars. They're all black. Let's talk about to all the rappers. Let's talk to all the black artists, all the black actors. Are they victims? No, they're not. And don't tell me that there's more white people in this than there is black, because white people can't even get in pro sports. Even in pro wrestling today, it's hard for a white person to get into it, to actually get noticed by anything. So, don't tell me how racist the right is. The right isn't racist. Trump wasn't racist until he ran for president, and you guys try to use the race card. The race card's been overplayed, folks. So, anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I've got things I got to take care of, and I want to get this up online so your hot, sweaty little eyes can see it. You guys take care of yourselves. Every one of you mean the world to me, and talk hard. Later, folks. I'm Robin Graves. This has been The World According to Graves. See you next time.